Tech Balance here with another video. Welcome back. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you find the content useful. If you have any other software that you're really passionate about, do make sure to hit us up in the comment section. We are always ready to listen, take your feedback. If you have any specific topics of interest within the specific software we're looking at right now, which is your Microsoft Excel package. Right now we are working with the latest version, 2022 version. Do hit us up, let us know your areas of interest, and we'll definitely deep dive into them. So today our area of interest will specifically be around your named ranges. So why do you need named ranges, and why are they important for your daily application? Right, so a named range is essentially simply a selection of cells within your Excel worksheet. Could be any sheet in your workbook, right? And I'll show you how to create that. And the beauty is, whenever you're doing your ranges, you want to quickly select a very specific range. You want to use a very specific function and a very specific application continuously for that range. So for example, if you have a number of sales items, your sales items could be apples, mangoes, tomatoes, and so on, right? And ideally you want to quickly compute the tax that is applicable for these items, so that you're quickly able to get your overall running cost in terms of maybe financial planning. Ideally you want to have a range sorry ideally you want to have a range, one for the tax percentage per the sales items, and one maybe specific to this the sales items you're working with. So I'm going to push this one to the side. I'll select my cell B2. Quickly show you what I mean by a range. Let's say we have a mango, we have a tomato, and we can have a maybe an orange, right? And I could say the price of this is 12, the price of this is 23, and I could say the price of this could be 10, right? So I can select that range. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Right, so I can say item, and I can say price, and I can just quickly format this, highlight as required. Then I could have my tax bracket and tax value. Just quickly adjust the length of the width of my columns. Then I could once again put in mango, tomato, which is not really necessary. You can always have all this tied back to the same table that I'll show you in a later video. So right now we're just going through the basics, and we could say this could be, say, 5%, this could be 10%, and this could be maybe something like 7%, right? So if I select this range and just go head over to the search, the search window or the search tab in your Microsoft Excel software, it's very, very powerful. And I recommend that whenever you're looking for a software sort of plugin, a software function, a formula, all the nitty-bitty sort of functionalities that are built into the software that you're not able to quickly track from the various bars that you're able to access, you can always come here, just type in maybe name, and you get under your actions you have the ability to name a range. So I will want to define that range, and I'll call it sales, say, underscore items, right? And I want to define that scope specifically to my sheet number 2, which is what I'm working with. And notice that you are able to delete, say, this one, and still select your range, similar to what we had done with the function wizard. So I click OK on that one. I'll come here, repeat the same thing, just type in name, go to define a range, right? Sorry, I want to define my range, and I'll call it tax underscore bracket, right? So I want to define it once more into my workbook. I will delete this, and I will repeat my selection once more. Notice that in the selection it retains the absolute referencing that we had talked about earlier. That is very important when you're naming a range. So just to quickly see the impact, you are able to see in your drop down. Initially we had talked about the ability to quickly navigate using your name box, but at the same time clicking the quick scroll, the down arrow that you see here allows you to quickly select the ranges that you've already defined in your workbook. So how does this really factor into play? If I was using a formula such as the sum product, right, and I want to select maybe sales items, and I want to multiply with the tax bracket, I'm quickly able to get the sum product of this and this. Remember that my names were clearly referenced, so rather than quickly having to sum this, sum all of this, then sum all of this, then multiply. If we were to do maybe the same formula, manually, how would it turn out, right? So a range is really helpful when you are doing quick formulas. You need to quickly navigate to ranges that you are 100% sure will not necessarily change as you're working with them. Now, the beauty about sum product and really summing and product is very delicate in terms of calculation, and we will definitely deep dive into this to make sure that you are not getting arithmetic errors. You could get logic errors. Logic errors are where you divide maybe a value by a non-existent value and you get something like this. Or you could be getting a logical error. A logical error simply returns a value but not necessarily the correct value. So today's topic was really to deep dive quickly into how to name ranges so that you're quickly able to have a quick lookup of them. And just to show you how that works now, you could say I'm doing a lookup, and I'm doing a lookup of this value, and I want to do a lookup of that value under sales items, and I want to return the second value that is there. So rather than the formatting of 100%, I'll just go back, reference that as general, which is similar to what we have here, and I'm able to get that. Traditionally, you could always opt, rather than typing in sales items, you could always type in these two columns and then put the reference that you want to work with. But I always find naming your ranges is very effective, very neat in terms of working, and even from a purely programming or logical aspect of it, you are able to quickly keep track, even on a mental point of view, a mental note that these specific topics are looking at these specific items within my workbook on said number of sheets. So do hit us up in the in the comment section, share your feedback, like, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Thank you.